about to go downtown.
Downtown Kay.
Downtown. You about to go downtown.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of Downtown World. Today we have a special guest, but they're not really a guest anymore because I feel like they're part of the family. Toronto, Rochester-based rapper Snackz. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know what I mean? You know, same Snackz, different rapper. You know what I mean? New stomach. Who this?
Please have that as a new tagline. I love that.
New stomach. Who this?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So people need to know. So we have the new project SNACKPACK Volume 1 on the run dropping.
Yeah.
It is out. Y'all should have heard it by now. And you gave just a little sample into what I feel is a very great new sound that you're kind of working out for yourself. So I'm not even going to hold your time. For the people that have not gotten to know you already, or this is their first time seeing you and you guys are caught slipping, haven't seen the first interview, just let everyone know kind of where you're representing for, where you're from, and where you're like residing now.
I'm Rochester, New York. I reside in Toronto, Canada. You know what I mean? Right. Artist, producer, songwriter, all around hustler. If you're looking for something, I probably got it for you for the low. But we doing music right now, so you know this. I'm an artist first, you know, and yeah, I just represent, you know, and you know the duality, you know, being one, being from U.S. and then being from Canada, and we just put it all together and just, you know, so that's what I represent.
Oh, yeah. And that was part of our conversation the last time, where it was just like, I'm so used to hearing the story of people from Canada to the US, but not like US to Canada. So right. I felt like with this project, SNACKPACK Volume 1, you definitely like tapped more into that, especially with was it Livingston border, which we definitely will be getting into. So Lewiston, my apologies, Lewiston border, which was dope. I felt like I was doing the drive, but I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush the tape. So I want to know what inspired SNACKPACK, because I love the concept. I love the idea, like snacks, obvious, but like you really did give a little teaser into, I'm assuming Volume 1 means more to come.
Facts, yeah, it's definitely more to come. So, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest, like, I was like, man, fuck it. I want to make more music. And also at the same time, like, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be honest, like, for this one, I would have to say it's just kind of like a little follow-up, a little continuation of, you know, Imported Goods, and just kind of like, because, you know, with Imported Goods, I couldn't say everything I wanted to say, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then that's the good thing, because I don't want to just throw everything that I want. So, On the Run is just, I just wanted some music that I could really listen to while I'm driving. I'm gonna be honest, like,
you accomplished that for sure.
Appreciate that. Like, that shit sounds beautiful on the highway. You feel me? And it has a couple different meanings. Like, as far as the name and everything, like, it's cruise music. You know what I mean? And then the reason why it's like that is because I just got this whip. You feel me? I just got this classic ass whip. It's an Acura RL. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Classic.
Which is what I'm in right now. So it just, I'm like, yo, I want some music that I could listen to, that I could just cruise to while I'm driving my shit. You feel me? But also at the same time, I got some shit I want to get off my chest. So it just kind of worked. It just kind of worked well together. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it just meshed well, and I was able to accomplish both. You know, it low key set the tone, and I think, that's where we're gonna go with Volume 1. And as far as the EP thing, I've always wanted to drop EPs for real. Like,
yeah.
Like, I think a lot of listeners nowadays is how could I put it? They're microwavable. You get what I'm saying? So like, a lot of people can't really listen to a whole 10, 12, 15 track project if they don't really know you. You feel me? But they'll bust down a quick 5 or 6. You feel me?
Facts.
So
what is
and
like, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, now it's just with my name being Snackz. I just thought it was just a clever play on it. You know what I mean? SNACKPACK. I mean.
It is. It's like I find some projects though, obviously Kanye did that whole 7 song albums thing. So how does that how do you view that and how does that work for you? Because basically what you drop, some people would consider an album and then some people would say it's an EP or a mixtape. So how did you make that like differentiation for yourself?
Honestly, like, yo, that's a funny question. So because like here's what I really love with making music. There's no rules to this.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So you can do whatever you want. You can put it together however you want to put it together. You feel me? And the people that's gonna perceive it is the people that's gonna perceive it. So it wasn't like no real clear-cut, concise way of let me do it like this or let me do it like that. For me, it was just like, man, I want to give these people 5 joints. You feel me? 5 joints that they can just literally drive to, cruise to, listen to on repeat, whatever the case may be. Just like, let me just give y'all something. And you know what I mean? And let me see how y'all feel about it. So it wasn't really like a huge like thought process with it. It was literally boom, 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 boom. You feel me? So
very nice. So with all of that being said, I'm going to dive into the project with you because we kind of did discuss a little bit before, but selfishly, the thing that I enjoyed about it, just being able to listen to imported goods and hear the difference now with these songs, I felt like your sound evolved. It was more like, kind of like for me with writing, when you're writing, I have something that I will initially write. And then by the time I'm done with it, I've cut a lot of sentences, replaced it with words, done all of those things to make it a snack pack in a sense, right? So I felt like that was something that I wanted you to do. And without, like, as a fan, hearing you do that, I was appreciative of it. I felt like I heard you more. You were developing into your own sound. So let's start off with the track. I won't be selfish. I'll go in order of what you have for Snack Pack. So reminiscent, right? Because even before we even get in, was there a reason why you chose the order in the way like you put the tracks?
Was there a reason why? I just felt it kind of had a build up to it. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's really it. Like it wasn't like I wish I could like give you like a whole like a stop, but it was just that's just how I liked how it sounded and going in that direction. And I think also with the theme of it, with like the skits and everything that I added to it, and I just felt like it just needed to go that way, you know?
Legit. Okay, so Reminiscent. Okay. I see you had that produced by Sib. Shout out to that team. How did Reminiscent come about? I really enjoyed it for the obvious reasons. It was a great light start, take off. I'm gonna let you dive into it because I can't do all of it.
Yo, no, you know what? I want to hear your perspective on it. Talk. No, I want to hear your perspective on it. But
I want to hear how it came about. I think it's fair to hear that. Yeah.
So it was a real gloomy day in Toronto that day. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. And me and Sibs was in the studio and I was like, yo, Sibs, play me some beats, bro. I know you got some beats. And he played the beat for that. And I was like, I'm like, okay. Oh, this is what we doing? Okay, say less. Went in there, killed that shit. You feel me? Knocked it out. It was smooth. Crazy part about it is that record was done in 2019.
Cheers.
You know what I mean? But
you're reminiscing in 2019.
2019, and I ain't gonna hold you like. My music is, like I said it before, like I don't really got no gimmicks or nothing. I just, the fact that I could rap really fucking good. And that record just shows that, you feel me? So I just talked about 2 situations that I was kind of reminiscing about and it just fit good on that beat along with the hook that, put together. And it was just, it was just a smooth joint. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. For me, my start was with Fly Away. Those type of beats, it really yeah, like it was, I can't even hold you. Like it was a fire beat. Like it brought the energy right away. Like the way you like didn't let it like overtake you, but you like rose the occasion. Like it was super, super, super nasty, nasty beat. Do you know the producer? Are you allowed to say or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the producer for Fly Away is Sling Hugh. Shout out my boy Sling Hugh because he killed. Oh, shit! I took my goddamn glasses off. Listen, shout out Sling. He killed that beat. That shit was crazy. And I got a surprise for you. So yeah, so the version that you have is not the final version. There's a second verse on that.
You're always doing. Oh man, I need that. I need that. Nah, like that one's definitely on repeat for me.
Nah, for sure. I appreciate that. That's actually one of my favorite records on the EP. And like the few people that I did let hear it, they loved that record. They're like, yo, this record is crazy.
Nah, that's a star player right there.
They're like, yo, this one is sick. Like I got nothing but great reviews on that record. The only bad review I got was the record should have been longer.
Well, apparently it is. So
yeah.
Apparently it is.
You low-key gave me a screw face just now. You was like, oh, well, apparently it is. And I didn't get it.
Like I got an attitude for real. I got an attitude because as I said, it's one of those ones that hits like crack. You got to pull it up the short 2 minute, 20 seconds one. It's like, okay, can I like what more? But that's great. That's great because I'm assuming in terms of streaming and everything, that's how everyone feels. That is great for you as an artist. Was that something that was like a thought to you at SnackPACK? Because I did notice as well, a lot of the songs were not like long or drawn out. They were mostly under 3:30 to 4 minutes. Was that something like you made a conscious decision of?
Yeah, because the reason why is because I know when Imported Goods, it was like 10 joints or 9 joints. And it was like, if this is the first time I'm gonna be hitting people in the head with these joints and whoever, my main idea with this joint is also, you know, besides the fact that it's cruise music, that people can listen to it and it'll make them want to double back and listen to everything else. You see what I'm saying? And it'd be like, damn, yo, where's more? I need more. It's like, this is great. You know what I'm saying? So
most definitely.
That was the main intent with the EP.
Most definitely. And it was kind of like, even the whole theme, you know, you had like, it was cruising. I feel like that's the best way to describe it because everything was kind of like something with movement, either as you had Fly Away or the Lewiston border, which we're gonna get into, and all that. Like it just embodied, like you said it the best way. I can't even think of something else to like say. It is cruising music for real, but it has great replay value. Do not get it twisted.
I appreciate that.
Right. So February, I know like everyone's kind of or should have heard that track by now because it is out, right?
Right.
Or okay, like sometimes I have to remind myself, is it something that no one else has? Or is it something, but I do remember it being out. Is there a video possibly coming for February?
Shout out to Ace and shout out to Soze. We were actually chopping it up about the video. We're probably gonna get the video done, you know, once probably sometime like late October. You know what I mean?
Dope.
I'll get done for that, yeah.
Dope. I love the concept of it. Of course, it's like the months, but it's like February. How did that one come about with you guys? And like just the fact of like February, like what am I like? Why? Isn't that mean? Like what's happening?
I ain't gonna hold you. That was just Ace saying some fly ass shit on the record, and we was like, "Fuck, we gonna call the track February." That us.
Cheers.
That's it.
It happens like that.
Ace, shout out my brother Ace, son. He said some fly ass shit on the record. When I'm falling off, that's February. We like, fuck it. That's what we gonna call it, February. You know what I mean? It's lit. You feel me? So that was literally that. Word. Shout out to Finn on the beat too. You know what I mean? Go there. You know what I mean? They be doing their thing. They be cooking this shit up. Got it nice. It's crazy though, because as I was listening to the record, because I had to sit back and like listen to my own EP, right? And I actually like the record and I like the skit that I put after the record.
Was that, remind me, hold on.
So.
I got everyone. Am I loud?
Yeah. I like the skit after it because it leads into the next record if you really pay attention to it.
Yeah, it does. But I was like, let me make sure I'm not confusing it with the intro.
Yeah.
I don't want them to come for me.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pause it real quick.
Yeah.
But it was leading up, and big ups to Street Fighter because that was an epic game for us growing up. But I love the fact that you also did your own skit and like had that. As I said, in the last project, Imported Goods, I felt like there were a lot of skits, but I felt like it was way more strategic, thought out, and like well placed in SNACKPACK. It wasn't too much. It was just enough. And it's like sometimes you're good.
Okay.
Sometimes you miss out on someone listening to the track or streaming the track because they just want to skip the intros. A project that I used to first do that with was the Tory Lanez, what was that album he had with all the balloons on the cover?
Never Die.
Yes. And like it took a while for me to grow back on it, to learn the album, to learn what parts to skip, then to be able to enjoy it the way I wanted to. So I feel like sometimes artists play kind of like a game with that. So personally for me, I felt like you made really good usage of like the skits. So why did you love the skit at the end of February like that so much?
Because it sounds like a real conversation that I probably had. And just kind of like, because I don't want to give it away, right? But all I'm gonna say is if you play Street Fighter, you know exactly when you hear that noise and you hear everything and how, and you know exactly what it is when you hear it. Like I don't want to give it all away though.
Exactly. So then it's the fact as well, okay, my track finally Lewiston Border, you know, like I felt like this one you really took a lot of time with writing. Am I right?
Nah, I wrote that shit in like 10 minutes.
Stop lying.
I'm dead ass.
10 minutes? What inspired it?
Life. I'm
like
so
the exact moment for that track. Like I want to know, were you like getting something in the kitchen? Like what happened?
So first and foremost, that record is produced by A-Rap Music. You feel me?
Shout out to them.
Honestly, like I literally was just like, yo, I just want to talk about what I be thinking about when I drive across the border, or you know, things that I've done when I drove across the border. Like because for somebody who took that drive, or somebody who's never taken that drive, for those who took that drive, y'all know exactly the border I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? But for those who haven't took that drive, well, let me take you on this ride right quick. You know what I mean? This is cruise music, so let me take you on this cruise right quick and let me show you, like, that's what I be on when I'm driving across the border. Like, and I just thought it was very interesting. It's just kind of like bridging the gap, you know? Ultimately, it's about bridging the gap. And I think that record does a good job of bridging the gap. Yeah.
You did that because I did the drive, but in the opposite way. So like when I heard you talking about the outlet and like stopping there to cop some more stuff and stuff like that, I was like, okay. So what they know about stopping off in Niagara there, like I didn't think of it. Like, you know, people from Rochester, that side would view it that way. Of course, you have the experience of being here in Toronto as well, but it was just a really dope perspective. And you can hear the difference that you would have from others on it. I really love the fact that I noticed you kept talking about circles and like doing a 180. And I remember I had a recent interview with this guy, his name was Dejan, and Dejan talks, and he spoke about the fact that like he hates when people say they're going to do a complete 360, because if you do a complete 360, you're bringing back yourself exactly to where you were, versus like a 180. You're somewhere, yeah. So I don't know if that was the thought behind it as well for you, but I noticed that was a common theme that you were speaking of in Lewiston Border. The fact of like celebrating your circle, doing a 180 to like.
Yeah, well, you can't. The thing is, how you gonna change if you're gonna go back to being the same person? Like you have to. How could I put it? be you, but you gotta change things about you.
Mm.
So the same person you was last year, you're not supposed to be this person this year.
Mm.
So things about you you're supposed to keep, but you're not supposed to see the same person, because if that's the case, then what did you really learn out of this shit? So basically, we're on the Lewiston border joint. Trying to think what I said. The way they move in circles and celebrate makes it flagrant. That's why I had to escape it. So I'm coming from a city where everybody's doing the same stuff, the same exact shit. There's nothing changing. This is what they do every day. I can't continue to do that. I gotta make a change. I gotta do something different. You know what I mean? So instead of me doing the 360 and end up in the same spot, now let me go ahead and do this 180 and get myself in a different position.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then so that's how that worked out. But yeah. Hopefully that gave you some more insight on
that. Definitely did. It definitely did. And I was like also thinking of the times like I'd be like so upset in Toronto, or like just stuff on my mind, and like start driving, and the next thing you know, I'm in Niagara and I'm like, oh shit. Well, let me go gas up and I'll just turn back around and drive home. So for me, there's always been something really therapeutic with like long drives and just being able to be like with your thoughts, or like for me, it's even playing like, you know, a certain album or something just to like, I don't know, it just helps. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels better. So like
for sure.
That feeling for me was definitely captured in Lewiston Border. So that was another one for me, I'd say, is a star player. It wasn't necessarily a song that you could like rap to, but there's sometimes an artist or rapper has a way of like, it's a rappy rap song. There isn't really a hook, but still you're rapping from beginning to end because it's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a song that would have like Jay-Z, 99 Problem. Well, no, that had a hook, but like, you know what I mean? There's certain tracks where like,
I get it.
So it definitely like, it wasn't sad, but I feel like it was super real from you know? And that's something that like I can resonate with. I love to feel when I feel like this track meant a lot to the artist. So I can tell that like, the words were really coming from somewhere, right? So that also leads into, let me ask you, do you find the glass half full or half empty?
Half full all the time.
Half full. Okay, cool. Because your next track, Panic Attack, right? Super powerful track. Not even gonna hold you. Am I allowed to give the people a sample? It would be out.
It would be out soon. You could.
It would be out when this plays. I just want to state that.
You go ahead, say it.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
All right.
10 seconds.
Give him the hook, though. Give him the hook.
Let's see if I can get it for you. 10 seconds.
Times harder to achieve the plea. Don't nobody really care about our problems. As long as you can be used, they never care who got me. Finally got my breath back and I broke out in tears. Said I wanted to be Dolo, but I need someone here. Shit changed my...
Yeah.
We gonna talk about it. So you won't have to tell me no. We gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? Very powerful track. And thank you for creating something like that, because I don't hear Black men really speak like this. Like guys, I don't want to say guys like you, but like, you know, more of like the urban-esque guys. Like, you know what I mean? You're not really tapping into the feels like that. So I really do appreciate it. And it felt very honest. What made you make that kind of executive decision to let everyone know, this is something that I experienced?
So I can't just tell you all the good shit with me and not tell you all the bad shit. That's as bad. Okay? Personally, there's strength and vulnerability. And you have to understand that. Just like I said last time, you can be going through something that can save 100 people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you was going through shit so you can talk to people about it so that they can get a different perspective, so they can know how to change their situation so they don't run into the same issues. You know what I'm saying? So with that record, I'm not gonna lie, like, what month was that? Because that's a recent record. August, I had a panic attack. You know what I mean? It was my second ever panic attack in life, and this one was just real harsh. It was harsh. This one kind of hit a little different. You get what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, it had me stuck. So I kind of had to just try to shut everything down and just try to get back to myself as much as I can, because I just been going. And then when I finally had a chance to stop, it was just tragic. So, and then that made me think about the first time I had the panic attack, which is what I'm talking about in the other half of the verse. When I had the panic attack the first time, and I vividly, I never forgot that shit. That was like a traumatic experience. You get what I'm saying? And the thing is, and I don't want to just make it seem like it's a man versus woman thing, but a lot of Black men, we go through a lot of these problems. You get what I'm saying? You never really understand. If I give you an example, say your father got the whole damn household on his back. This man ain't take a break since. Ain't no telling how many times that man was in the car breaking down crying before he came out in the house. And to be honest with you, as you talk about, the Black community, nobody really cares about Black men's mental health. It's not something that's really spoken on unless something happens. And as Black men, we have to understand that your mental health is very important, and we got to take care of that shit, because your mental controls everything else with your body. So if you're not right up here, you're not gonna be right nowhere else. You get what I'm saying? So this is just me, just talking about a situation where I had an issue like that, and I want people to know, yo, you're not alone. I go through this shit. You know what I mean? So don't feel like you alone. And if this record is a vulnerable moment for you to let your tears out, let your frustration out, let your ink, whatever the case may be. If you're driving and you hear the shit and you start crying or whatever the case may be, let that shit out. Don't be scared to let that shit out, because if you hold it in, it's gonna make it worse. You know what I mean? So that was just the real intent with that record.
Wow. So I wanna ask, right? Because as a female, I subscribe to male female relationship, right? And in my experience, I feel like there's plenty of times I would say to my partner, you can talk to me about anything. And I feel like men always feel like, oh my gosh, a woman always got something to say, always complaining about, always talking, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's much easier, it sounds like, for you, and I'm sure a lot of other Black men can relate to everything you just said, where it was easier for you to create art about it, as opposed to just looking your partner in the eye and saying what you even just said. So what is the disconnect? Why do some men feel like they cannot let us know what's going on in there?
I'll be honest with you. I'm probably gonna get a little deeper, but it's like this, right? Here's the thing. How could I put it? When you deal with the wrong person and you don't heal from that, you bring it to a whole nother situation that it don't need to be at. So for instance, a lot of Black men have been told, you can tell me anything. You can talk to me. It's okay. You can let it out. Then we feel vulnerable enough to let it out, and then it's used against us. And that happens a lot. So it's like, if you were just going to use this against me, then what was the point of talking to you for? I told you that out of I felt vulnerable. I felt open. So you just betrayed my trust just because you was upset. And it literally just took that little bit of you being upset for you to come at me like that. And you know how I feel about that. You get what I'm saying? You know how I feel about that. So now that has somebody looking through a whole twisted lens, and they just feel like they can't talk to nobody. And it might be a woman that really cares, but because they never properly healed from that, they can't expect, you can't expect somebody that's not fully healed to give you what you want, because they don't even know what's going on in their mind. You get what I'm saying? They got to fix up here first before they can really be able to be the person you want them to be. And that goes for men and women. You know what I mean? So that's really what a lot of the disconnect is. But I think I'm not gonna place the blame on women. I think men need to go seek therapy and go take counseling and go talk some of these problems out, because we holding on to a whole bunch of shit and we don't even know we hurt until we start saying shit and it just come out.
Then you're like, oh shit.
And like, it's like you having a conversation. I keep it a buck. I was having a conversation with my God, bro. You know what I mean? And in the middle of the conversation, I just broke down. I didn't realize that shit was bothering me until I'm talking about it. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, and that happens to a lot of Black men. This is this shit we don't speak on because we feel like nobody really cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes. Like, and we take care of a lot of shit. We know what I mean? Like, we take care of a lot of shit. And everybody comes at us with their problems, and everybody always tells us about this and tells us about that, but not, and I'm not saying all, but like, just for 1 second, it's rare that we hear, yo, how are you doing? Are you good? Do you need anything? It's like what a lot of Black men, it's majority, like we always getting taken from. And it's rare that
you
you
said
find somebody that be like, yo, are you good? Do you need anything?
Yeah, sorry,
a lot. I'm not going to say majority, but a lot. I say a lot. A lot of Black men go through this. Like, if I have to, a number out of 10, I'll probably say 8 out of 10 Black men go through this.
No, in the past, I've definitely been guilty of that. So I won't like lie and be here for women and be like, that's not true. Like, we're definitely guilty of that. And that's something that we do need to improve on as women, because you're right. It's always like whatever we need, give. And like very rarely are we like checking back on our kings and being like, you made sure I was like 1000% good, but like, how are you? Like, you know? So that's really, really important. So this girl told you, get up, stupid. That's wild. That's wild. Not to like dig up like, you know what I mean, bad memories, but like if you're at a point where you can like discuss this, that's wild.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Please tell me you broke up immediately. Or somewhere close to that. That's wild.
To be honest, nah.
Oh geez, if that's your current person, sorry.
Nah. Nah.
But that's wild.
Yeah. Nah, that shit happened.
In such a vulnerable state, like, you know, I've been very transparent a lot of times speaking about my experience with that. So unfortunately, it's even happened to me in the workplace. And like, god damn, it'd be a coworker like you really don't fuck with, but they didn't leave me there on the ground. They held my hand, make sure I was good until like the proper authorities came to make sure I was good. So that's why I was like, for someone that like your body has entered their body and like, that's what they said to you?
Yeah, that's what happened.
How did you receive that? Like, what is that processing like? Like,
that's traumatic because it was like, yo, somebody that, you know, I'm really going all out for, you feel me? Like, I'm treating you, you know, the best that I can treat you, and not like on some more, how could I put it? You know, dudes say that, but then they be doing some bullshit. Like, nah, I was really literally giving everything, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I literally gave until I overgave. I didn't have much, you know what I mean? And trying to keep the shit afloat. But in her defense, we got into an argument that day.
But at that moment,
I'm not saying, you know, that as an excuse, but
I'm saying at that moment, you're on the ground and I'm seeing that.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing, because I'm like, I'm breathing.
Like, you gonna leave me to die, nigga?
Breathe,
you
like,
gonna leave me to die? Like, that's how I felt hearing that part of the song. I ain't even gonna hold you. So
Shorty really went in the other room and like, cause she was mad, like, oh, you want to have a panic attack now because we arguing type shit. You feel me? Like, I remember that day. I remember that shit clear. Day like that shit just happened yesterday, and the whole time I'm just sitting on the floor because I'm in shock because I never had a panic attack. You feel me?
You don't even know.
And I'm on the floor, and I'm like, yo, what? Excuse my language. What the fuck is going on with me? Like, what's up? And then it's like, come back in there, and I'm still sitting in the same spot. And it's like, get your stupid ass off the floor. Like, You feel me? And it's just situations like that. And I just had to fucking try to get myself back together and act like that shit didn't happen. You feel me? Like, didn't check on me later, didn't say anything like, yo, you good? Like, it was none of that.
That's wild.
But yeah, no, that shit. To be honest, like, it's still kind of it still kind of messes with me to this day. You get what I'm saying? And it kind of like not trying to justify like my trust issues or of a sense or anything, but like kind of like it just, yeah, it's a lot. We'll just say it's a lot. Just leave it at that. But yeah, no, that actually happened.
Well, I'm really trying to eat fruit and mind my business, but I, for the fans, you know, I will ask, like, seriously, how do you approach now relationships? It doesn't even have to be like intimate relationships, but just with people in general after like.
Well, me personally, like, I went to therapy. I went to counseling. I talked through my situations. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, nothing ain't gonna heal it but time. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't ever heal from shit. You don't really heal from my fault. You don't really heal from shit. It's just kind of like you learn how to deal with it. You learn how to cope with it. You get what I'm saying? But also I learned that you can't treat everybody the same unless you see the same kind of traits. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that might have happened with this person, but the reality of it is, and this is where my accountability comes in. Yeah, you know, a lot of bull, you know, happened to me, but I chose to deal with that person. Yeah. And there were signs that I seen, and I chose to ignore them signs. So therefore, that's a result of my actions. That's what I did wrong with it. You get what I'm saying? But moving forward, I have to make sure that if I catch any of these signs, that I cut that shit off immediately because I know what comes with it. You get what I'm saying? So that's just me holding myself accountable with it, but also because my thing is, people are going to be who they're going to be. You get what I'm saying? But it's all about who can you deal with. Facts. You get what I'm saying? So, like, just moving forward, I give everybody a chance. You know what I mean? Like, even though so much bullshit happens to me, I give everybody a chance to show themselves. You get what I'm saying? And I can only judge you by what you show me. And if your actions are solid, then I can continue to rock with you. It's so funny. My bro H just said this shit in an interview last night, and it's the realest shit. Like, you can rock with somebody. Yeah, you can rock with somebody until they do some bullshit, and then now it leaves you with that fork in the road. And now you gotta look at the situation. Like, are you gonna continue to deal with this person, or are you gonna not fuck with them no more? You know what I mean? So that's just kind of. That's kind of like how I deal with this shit. Like with any kind of situation, you get what I'm saying? Like any kind of relationship, whatever it may be, you know, whether it's platonic, romantic, business, you know what I mean? Like, so people gonna show their hand, but it's up to you on how you gonna deal with this shit.
And that part, I will be transparent and being like, that's how a lot of like men, I think, where like, as you were talking about earlier, women, it could be like the smallest of the smallest thing. And like, that's what it took for you to like betray me. Or like a guy would feel like there's a lot of things that's happened that they've maybe even turned like a blind eye to. And it's like, your guys' meter patience is definitely longer.
And that's another thing too, because as men, we might not talk about it, but we see a lot of shit. And we ignore, we remember things, but we ignore a lot of shit. We really give the benefit of the people think. You get what I'm saying? So like, for instance, you probably was with somebody, right? You probably was in a relationship with or whatever, right? Yeah. And you don't even know, but you probably done did some shit that pissed him off and he ain't say shit. Yeah. But he cut your ass off though. And you couldn't for the life of you think what the fuck it was because he never had the conversation.
Yeah. Well, in my personal history, that's never not saying happened. You, but no. But I'd be honest and just being like, in my personal history, that's never happened. I'm actually like, leave me alone. It's just not happening. But I definitely know people that like that is the case, or like there could have been business dealings that I was like, what did I say? What did I do? Like, that I definitely felt like that, and you're trying to rack your brain about like, did I say it the wrong way, like, etc. So, for sure. 1000%. And kudos to you, like going to therapy is so important. And like, I feel like we all should make like the time to do that in some capacity, because you can speak on it now. And when people listen to SNACKPACK, Volume 1 on the run, they'll be able to know, or like when you have a panic attack, it's not planned. It happens in the most unexpected times, even like way after a situation has happened. It can just like creep on you. And it's very important. This book that I read that definitely is probably one of my favorite books to this day is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, but he speaks on the fact of like life being all about the breath. It begins and ends with the breath. And if you are present and you're paying attention to everything that's happening, like even now how we're talking, how does your breath feel? Is it, you know what I mean? When you're angry, you notice your breath speeds up and everything like that. So for people out there that can relate to this conversation, I definitely can. That is something that is definitely like the key thing in it. You can pay attention to that breath or apply that 4-4-4 concept, 4 breaths in, hold for 4 breaths out, or 4 count, like a breath out. You should be able to slow it down and have control of that breath. Mental health, definitely every Black guy I talk to on this platform, I definitely want to ask about that and talk about that, because I want to learn, I want to do better, I want to normalize it for you guys. I want to be able, like, Black men, you come into these spaces, you do more interviews and things that like you feel more appreciated as a Black person, because at the end of the day, if we didn't have you guys, like we would be nothing, period. It works together. So it's very important, very, very important. Was there any last things that you wanted to say in regards to the track, like Panic Attack, or the message that you're carrying out through that?
Mental health is real. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like you got a lot going on in your head, if there's some things that you constantly think, and I think you should go talk to somebody. It's just like if something physically wrong with you, you go to the doctor, right? So if something's mentally wrong with you, go see somebody and get it checked out. It doesn't make you crazy. It don't make you all this, like, fuck all of the, what's that shit called? What's the word called? Fuck the bullshit that's surrounding mental health, because it's real. Like, a lot of the Black men suicidal rate is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I forget the percentage, but it's a percentage where it shouldn't be at. You know what I mean? So we gotta patch into that. Don't play with it. You know what I mean? Like, be serious. If you're serious about your body, you need to be serious about your mind too, because they work hand in hand. So mental health is real. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to talk up. If you got a group full of homies, like, certain things need to be discussed. You feel me? And you know what I mean? Because that might be the safe space the only safe space y'all really got. So don't be afraid to speak up. If you feel like you ain't got nobody, like, you should go to therapy. I mean, everybody should go to therapy, but bottom line, because I don't want to keep rambling, don't play with your mental health. That shit controls everything. If your mental health ain't right, don't expect to make money. Don't expect to be physically fit. Don't expect to be emotionally equipped. Don't expect to have your life together as a whole if your mental not right. So take care of that. Take care of it, man.
1000%. So I have a couple of half sentences that I want to ask you, and feel free to let me know whenever you gotta go, because I know I'm taking up your time. So no, but just feel more than free. I just want to like let you know, right? So I have like half sentences, and if you can complete the sentences for me, that would be great. Okay. So the first one is, I feel loved when.
I feel loved when I wake up in the morning.
Why is that?
Because I woke up this morning. That's the wake up in the morning of I'm thankful for the rise. That's the blessing for the day. Everything else is a surprise. I don't have these shit. I don't even try, because everything could go wrong in the blink of an eye. That's why. So I feel loved as soon as I wake up in the morning.
Okay.
God love me. He woke me up.
Facts. 1000%. Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
So I practice kindness when.
I practice kindness when I practice kindness when I'm speaking to a person.
All right.
Gotta be kind. Unless you give me a reason to, otherwise then I gotta fuck you up. Other than that, I practice kindness when the energy is right. There we go. That's the better one.
All right.
Come on. I had to throw that in. Okay.
No problem. I love to create when
I love to create when I'm going through. I love to create when I'm going through a rough time in life.
Why?
Because that's where you get the best material.
But like, does that make your sound come off like too dark or like morbid, or is that ever a thought?
Nah, because here's the thing. Don't only make it dark. That's just what happened. It just sounds dark. It's not about what you say, it's how you explain it. In my opinion. I could be wrong though.
No, there is no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong. The last one, sorry. And the last one that I want to ask you is I lost weight because
Almost died a year ago.
Jeez.
Yo, your face was just like, oh.
Yeah, like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
if it's okay, how?
Yeah, we could talk about
Yeah.
October 1st. The day is this Friday.
Wow.
I got some chili from Tim Hortons. Don't ask me why I got chili from Tim Hortons.
I used to fuck it up too. Sorry. Sorry, we didn't know better.
With some butter on that shit. Throw some cheese at the top. Bomb. But anyways, so I'm not gonna just contribute to the Tim Hortons chili. My eating habits were horrible. Also, you know what I'm saying? And I had the chili from Tim Hortons. I woke up in the middle of the night with sharp chest pains, like very sharp. And I was like literally trying to do everything so to not go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, I gotta go to the hospital. So went to the hospital, checked in. They told me that my bladder, the bacteria inside of my bladder was growing to the point where my bladder was literally about to burst. And they were like, if you didn't get in here any sooner, it could have been fatal. So that shit happened. And from that point, I went to go see my doctor. My doctor was like, yo, you got to lose some weight and you got to get yourself together because there should be no reason why you having these kind of problems at the age you're at. Around the time I was 29.
Facts.
And from then on, I just made the change and just made that shit happen a day at a time. It was hard. You know what I mean? It was crazy because, I mean, I done been through some real risky shit. I done risked my life doing a whole bunch of other shit I shouldn't have been doing. But this one hit the most. You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to ask because even for myself, a lot of times I'd be like, yo, I got to lose weight for this, or like something will happen. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to adjust this because of what has happened and then fall off, or I won't really like stay true to it. So yes, you almost died this time, but what really like opened that mind up and said, like, you look amazing. For those of you at home that don't know, you lost over 70 pounds and it's showing from the inside to out. You know what I mean? And that's the most important part. So, because nobody wants to talk to a stupid nigga.
This is a fact.
So it's very commendable and important that you also knew that you had to get your mindset greater. So what really helped to get you there to be like, I have to listen because if I end up back in this hospital, it may not be as sweet.
That's that. And I don't know why, but I had Cat Williams in the back of my mind. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but he had something to stand up. You gonna kill a nigga chicken? After you put you your whole motherfucking career, nigga, you gonna kill a nigga chicken? Like, damn, bro. Like,
for real.
Like, damn, like I can't listen. I thought I was gonna go out from some other shit. Not because I ate some chili, but not because I ate some fried chicken. Like, damn, bro, like, you feel me? That would just be a trash ass way to go. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. If I would have went out like that, I would like, yo, God, give me a redo, son. This not.
Facts.
This ain't it, man. But
Facts. Some down to
nah,
earth shit. Yeah.
real shit. But like, nah, just like at that point in my life, I had to do better, man. I had to do better. You shaking and moving, you doing all of this stuff, you maneuvering, you going all over the place, you doing this, you doing that, 24/7. At least make sure your diet is right. Because that shit can affect you way more than you think it could. You feel me? So it's like how bad do you really want it? How bad do you want to be healthy? How bad do you want to be good? I mean, like, because it's easy to be bad, but then when you be bad, you get yourself in the worst predicament. Now you really fucked up.
Facts.
So it's like the biggest lesson in that is hold yourself accountable or life will.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And it's funny because like today I knew we had our interview, and for whatever reason, my mind is like, smoothie this morning. I've definitely been following off because it's my birthday week, way more alcohol than I should be having. But like that, I laughed after that happened. I said, you know what? This guy's doing a great thing, because even me thinking of your name and like what your music and the messaging that it's giving and what you back it up in your real life by doing that you will share like via social media, just that alone had me being like, nah, I gotta get myself right for today. Got my water, got my, like, you know what I mean? This morning had a nice healthy breakfast. I'm like,
But you know what? I want to say, right?
Yeah.
I'm not one of them people that push that shit on everybody.
You
because
don't.
Everybody got their time.
Really don't.
Everybody got their time when they got to figure out what's going to work for them. You get what I'm saying? So what I always do tell people, though, is just do things in moderation. That's it. There's a way where you can get, if you have a balance, you'll be good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go this way all the time, but that, like, you can work out and it's still like, you know what? I killed that workout this week. Let me go get like a cup of ice cream or something.
A Whopper? Oh.
A what?
I said a Whopper.
You trying to eat?
Yo.
Damn.
I'm just checking what was.
You could have said oxtail. You know what I mean? Macaroni pie or some shit.
I'm always with that.
Whopper. Oh, you trying to go to hell?
Listen,
hey, bro,
sometimes it be slapping, but I feel you. I need to cut that shit out. No offense to Burger King.
Anyways, look, like, I'm just saying, like, just it's just, yo, just you gotta do things in moderation, man. Like, I'm not here to tell nobody that I'm not in people's faces like, oh, you need to change your life. Nah, I'm not doing that.
Brother, pull light on these mans.
Yeah, I'm not, hell nah. You see how that's turning out.
Well, yeah. Probably not the best example of that.
Yeah, that was it's all good. But all I'm saying is, I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do with their life and how to go about it. That's not what I'm here to do. But what I am here to do is lead by example. So you see what I'm doing. If you want to follow suit and change your life for the better, that's all good. But if not, that's fine too. But just make sure that you do things in moderation. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
1000%.
Yeah, that's the best way I could put it.
I feel like you should have a track, something about that moderation. I can see that. I can see that. Well, I want to say, like, thank you for even like taking the time to speak with me today. And like, you truly are embodying what we're all about, not wasting time with negativity. Like, I'm excited off camera, in front of the camera, to see what you have in store and rooting for you to win, because like, this is the type of messaging, you know, when I reflect on artists that we grew up with, because we're basically in the same generation, you know, R.I.P. DMX, you know, Scarface just went through kidney.
Kidney died.
Yeah.
Kidney from some shit like that. Yeah.
We know Cam, you know, he hasn't really been vocal about it, but we know him to have gone through his medical share of things as well. We think about the Locks, you know, Styles P, Jadakiss, like, I could go on and on and on about just in hip hop, people that have kind of had those medical big pun, all those people where like had they had altered their, or had they still have the chance to alter their diet, how great that could do. And it's something that wasn't really spoke about in our generation of, you know,
Right.
music growing up, or the importance of that. I feel like now that I look at it, we were super wildin'. Niggas were very nasty to themselves, and we weren't showing ourselves a lot of love. And now in this new era of hip hop, that like I feel like you is I'm just thinking of like Toronto artists that like I fuck with, or like I see, but like people within that vein where it's like the spitters. I love the fact that you guys are incorporating knowledge about us, incorporating healthy practices into our lifestyle while just being yourselves, to show that like, yo, we ain't gotta die off of bad health. Like there's
Facts.
1,000 ways, a million ways to die, but it doesn't have to be that way. And just how like great it could benefit us. Like no one could ever look at you. And I hope you don't delete the old stuff that you have, but no one could ever look at you and be like, yo, I don't see the change that this has made.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
They
I
would be
think
straight up lying.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the biggest shock is gonna be when I go back home to the Rock, and people that know me like my whole life, when they see that shit, because I know they gonna be like
Yeah.
if they see the pictures on Facebook, and that's one thing, but when you see me in
In
person,
person.
they like, wait a minute, oh, what the, oh, Snackz? I mean, like, so.
They gonna
For
start
sure.
calling you Slim.
Now I'm Diet Snackz, you know what I mean?
Diet Snackz.
Diet Snackz, you feel me?
Splenda
listen,
sugar. What's happening?
That's what I tell people. I tell people, listen, I went from being Snackz, now I look like a snack. That's the best way to put it.
Hey. Talk your shit. So I want you to just kind of like let me know, let everyone at home know like something about yourself. I've asked you this before, but I feel like you're also still evolving. Something about yourself that we don't really know that you're okay with sharing, since New Stomach, who it is.
Since New Stomach, who it is.
Because I'll be transparent in saying like, you know, I've been not heavily trying to lose weight, but it's something that my mental is starting to get to where it needs to get on that path. And something that I've noticed is like, my skin is fucking with me. Like with losing weight, nobody really talks about like your skin shrinking, and sometimes how it can like irritate you, or like even on my neck, I noticed because like the weight is going down, like where it kind of just shrinks together, it kind of just, it's not as fun. Like you got to use the baby oil, kind of like, I guess, pregnant women. So
when it comes down to your head, my head is still big as shit like it was a year ago. This shit ain't changed. My head's brolic as hell. Like that's the only place I didn't lose weight at. My face got a little more defined, and you can see like the jawlines, and you can see all of that. But like my head's still big as fuck. But that ain't some shit that you can really change. You feel me? When shit got the chrome dome, you got the chrome dome. You locked in. You can't change that. But one thing about me that people don't know that I don't mind sharing is I low-key want to get into modeling.
Right? Yes. 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 Yes.
I think I got the smile for it. I think I got, I lost the weight now. So I think
Not saying that before you couldn't, but like mentally you feel like you're at a space where that's something you'd want to do.
Yeah, before I would have been a plus size nigga, you feel me? But now I'm in a whole different space. So I'm like, I'm learning to embrace it now. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. 100%.
Yeah. So
1000%, I rock with that. And don't limit yourself, like especially you'll have merch on the way, all those things. You don't probably gotta hire like opportunities are endless, you know what I mean? So I do want to say thank you for being here with me today. I'm really looking forward to everyone hearing, and I'm going to hear the complete version of Snack Pack Volume 1 on the Run. We definitely, don't waste no time with negativity. We ate free, mind our business. I want you to kind of like end us out today, because this will not be our last conversation. But as I said, even if people go back, watch the first conversation we had, and tune into this conversation, and mindset is definitely even greater for the both of us. So what is something that you want to end this interview off with? Snackz, it's your mic, your floor tonight. Today is all about you. What do you want to say?
One bit of gang. Oh, I was just thinking about that. That's crazy. If you want to do something, you'll find a way, but if you don't, you'll find an excuse.
One 1,000%. 1,000%.
And stay black. You feel me?
You feel me? Well, I want to say thank you again, Snackz. Thank you, everyone at home, for tuning in, watching. Make sure you stream his music, stream this project, support this Black King. Let's listen to our Black Kings and hear what they have to say. I'm excited to support you. And Teddy Bear, is that the name of your family, Teddy Bear Crew? What are we calling the snack fans?
What are we calling them? I don't know, to be honest.
I'm just putting you on the spot.
I know you did. I ain't even think that far, for real. They just supporters, man. I don't really have a name yet. You feel me? I'm trying to work on that. It will come out naturally. It'll come out naturally. You know what else I gotta say too? One more thing.
Of course.
Listen to understand. Don't listen to just respond. I had to throw that in there.
That is very important. Very important. What made you want to share that? Because that is a heavy message. You shared a lot of fruit with us today, but that is a heavy one, especially now more than ever.
Because that was something that I forgot to. That was something I forgot to mention when we was talking about like the whole panic attack joint, and why don't Black men voice what's going on with them. The reason why, and I hate to go back to this, but if we can't have a proper conversation where I'm explaining to you what's going on with me without you being mad, then what's the point of talking to you? Sometimes it's about you. You just got to take yourself out of the equation, unless it's something about you. And if it is something about you, listen to what's being said before you start, before you start trying to jump off the deep end and tripping. Like, stop, don't. And if somebody's talking to you about a situation that, or a relationship, something that could work or be better, listen to understand. Don't just try to come at the person nut. Apparently, they're telling you this because they care about you and they want to grow the relationship. Don't take it as a sign of disrespect because somebody's saying that, you could do this a little better, you could do that a little better, you could be a little more like this, you could be a little more like that. You get what I'm saying? Because that be the shit that we miss. And then when a motherfucker go mess with Becky down the street or Sue Young or some shit, or go mess with another Keisha, it's like, oh, well, I did everything. No, you did everything, but you didn't listen. The biggest thing, communication. And communication, understanding to listen to respond listen to understand instead of listening to respond. And that be one of the biggest reasons why a lot of Black men don't talk to their women. I'm gonna be honest with you. So my fault, because we just kind of went to.
Don't say my fault. You're speaking facts. I'm listening.
I had to get that shit out right quick. Word.
No, it's definitely a word, and I'm sure my ladies will receive it. I received it. We gonna do better. Everyone go get it right. We gonna do better. Everyone go love.
and I gotta throw this out there. I'm not perfect, so I'm not speaking from a perfectionist point of view because I still got shit I gotta work on. Yeah, I mean, so just understand. I'm not talking on some shit like, oh, I'm better than all y'all. Nah, it ain't like that. Cause I still got some shit I need to work on. You feel me? I mean, like I still be fucking up a vegan chocolate chip cookie every now and then. You feel me? Like I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, so I don't want nobody to hear what I gotta say as in terms like, oh, who this nigga think he is? Nah, it's not that, but if it's some things that we could work on, that's general things.
Yeah.
Just take the game for what it is, and if it apply, you know what I mean, let it work. If it don't apply, let it fly.
1000%. 1000%. Awesome. I'm so happy. So I want everyone, as I said again, make sure you stream SNACKPACK Volume 1 on the run out now. And thank you for your time. A lot of y'all niggas are gonna be linking me in February, but stay reminiscent, all right, while I fly away and don't have no more panic attacks and maybe pass through the Lewiston border.
You see this? Bars. That's motherfucking bars, nigga.
All right, guys, this has been Snackz with Downtown World. I'm your girl, Kay.
About to go downtown.
Downtown.